What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with 7.5 weeks out physique update from the mutant Nick Walker. So that side chest is the most freaky physique update of the mutant in 2025. I'm gonna say the most freaky update of this entire 2025 season that we have seen from any bodybuilder out there. Because that is Nick Walker taking the size to a whole new level. So that side leg with that hamstring, that doesn't even make any sense. But that is why he was given the nickname, the mutant. He represents the freak of natures. And make no mistake, Nick Walker isn't trying to be that pretty physique on the stage anymore. Unlike when him and Matt Jensen, they were trying to fix his shape. And that happened back at the Arnold 2023. So Nick Walker is probably gonna come in, like Marcus Rule's style. Except I think we can all agree, Nick Walker is way more complete than Marcus. And one great similarity between both these guys is that having those monstrous bicep peaks. So Nick Walker still has 7 more weeks to go till it's stage time, and hopefully his waist also comes in very nicely in that specific time period. So one of the risks that Nick is gonna take by bringing his all-time biggest package is having a wider midsection, or that can be the case. The question is, if that happens, will that be worth it? Well, we will only know when he gets compared to Martin Fitzwater and Good Vito, who are both very good, very aesthetic looking bodybuilders. So next conditioning at 7.5 weeks out, that is right on the money, right where it needs to be. And we have to keep in mind, other than the New York Pro, there hasn't been a show in which Nick Walker wasn't on. Even the Arnold 2023, they got beat by Samson Dauda. That was Nick's driest and the most ripped version ever. But he just lost too much size on his quads in doing that, in getting really peeled. So this comparison of him hitting the most muscular from the New York Pro last year versus the one from today, that just goes to show you how Nick wasn't even hitting his pose with authority last time. He did not have that same command as he normally has. But this is a new year for Nick Walker. So looking at this update, should Martin be a bit worried, a bit scared of this version of Nick, in which he's still weighing in the high 280s? And the plan is to come in 10 to 15 pounds heavier. So Hostile just dropped some Sherpa lined zip-up hoodies and forced hooded jackets. So do check them out and use the code Fazi10 to get 10% extra discount. Next up, we have the recent update from Good Vito, who was spotted training back today. Now, as a Good Vito fan myself, you just hope that there are some areas where Vito must have made the biggest improvements, and that is of course his back. Because the thing is, Good Vito was so big and so aesthetic last year when he made his pro debut. And even though he was absolutely ripped, but his back was still lacking a lot of density. So Vito is gonna be overall a very improved bodybuilder this time around. And the reason I'm saying that, the kind of progress that we saw from him in the offseason, that can be a good indicator of that. So this year, Good Vito wants to compete more, because he will win this upcoming Arnold Brazil in 3 weeks time. And he can just sit out of the rest of the season and just focus on his Olympia debut. But the man is committed to doing this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, which is happening in May, just because of the depth of the lineup. And he wants to go up against the best of the best. So considering how shredded Good Vito was last year when he made his pro debut, and also at Detroit Pro, this will be a bigger version, but most likely with that same or maybe even better condition than what we saw last year. And I have to remind you guys that after the prejudging at Detroit Pro, there was only 1 point difference between Martin and Good Vito, and some people even had Good Vito winning that show. And with Vito taking the full year off, that gap is probably gonna be even more closer. So do you guys think Good Vito has the capability to shock the entire bodybuilding world in one of the biggest shows of the year and challenge both Nick Walker and Martin Fitzwater? Next up, we have 8.5 weeks out physique update from Regan Grimes. So the lack of enough size, that has always been an issue for Regan, especially in comparison with the top guys of the men's open class. But here, check in by himself, he does look pretty massive. So the biggest challenge for Regan and his coach Stefan is to maintain all that fullness, especially in the chest, throughout this prep. Because we have seen in the past that his chest kinda flattens out. And that is his first thing to go as he gets deeper and deeper into the prep. Now for a guy of Regan's height and weight, he has gone below 1800 calories a day to get truly shredded. And that is kind of insane for a guy of that kind of size. So the last time Regan competed at the Olympia, that was back in 2023. And he gave his absolute best at that show. And the man also got rewarded for that, as the judges gave him top 9 in the world, as that was the most rare version of Regan Grimes to date. That was undoubtedly his all-time best. But the same physique that won't even place top 10 in this year's Olympia lineup, because of the return of some of the other big names like Nick Walker, William Bonac, Rafael Brundle, and also a few others. Now it is kind of ironic that Regan was the name who started this feud between him and Nick Walker. And if we compare the most muscular of both these guys, from today, nothing about those two physiques are similar. So Regan isn't doing this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, which is kind of a smart move. Yes, he said he's gonna beat Nick Walker at the New York Pro, but he would be hoping Nick Walker skips the New York Pro, because based on all the updates that Nick Walker has been posting, the man must be scaring a lot of people. So a special focus and attention is being given to Regan's leg workouts. And it is a high probability that we're gonna see bigger legs on Regan in 2025. And I believe that is gonna work wonderfully in his favor. Next up, we have a 10 days out physique update from Sazan Herithi. So the update is so spot on that it is just so hard to ignore. So that is a serious level of peel and shreds right there from Sazan. His side leg is freaking insane. Some of the best in the world right now in the men's open class. And he has the ability and the quality in his quads. He's able to showcase striations and feathers at the same time. His back shots haven't been his biggest strength, but this rear lat spread right here, it seems like there is definitely some new width and more density in that area as well. Now we all know William Bonac is going into that show as the favorite to win this upcoming Detroit Pro. And most of the people out there are thinking that James is gonna be the one who's gonna challenge him for the win there. But the way Sass is looking right now, his physique is looking so fresh and lively. He might be the one to push William Bonac this time around. Now William Bonac was able to beat Sass pretty comfortably last year in Spain. But since then, Sazan has added some serious size on his physique. So one thing that is gonna make Sazan stand out a lot is his ability to peak 100% for every single show. Even last year, when he made his comeback after 6 years, his conditioning was absolutely spot on. So Detroit Pro is gonna be an awesome show, and Sazan can be the one to come out of it as a star and maybe on top. If this guy hadn't stopped competing back in 2018, he would have been a multiple times Olympian by now. So the most anticipated classic physique pro debut is about to happen in less than 1 week, and that is gonna be at the Muscle World Fit World Pro. So Jack Eagles, he has decided to do a show just a week before he steps on the stage with some of the biggest names in classic physique at Detroit Pro, and they are Wesley and Matt Rago. Now he can certainly win this show and then do Detroit Pro and see how he compares with some of the biggest names in classic physique. And that is such a great strategy, as he will get his Olympia qualification and then he will get a chance to get compared with 2 of the top 10 Olympians and then use that data to build up his physique for the rest of the year for his Olympia debut in October. So this guy hasn't competed since 2023 and he has put in plenty of work. During this time span, he was able to put on some noticeable amount of muscle, some size in every area, and that accentuated his overall aesthetics. And maybe he still needs more muscularity and thickness to match up really well against the top guys, but no one is beating him on the structure and also the overall aesthetics. So his condition right now for 5 days out, that looks awesome. So this physique is gonna change drastically as they put in more carbs and dry him out. So this is him at his flattest ever, and the man looks so peeled. The fact that he has such greatly developed physique, that too just at the age of 22, that is so damn insane. Hopefully he has some room left to grow before he hits that weight cap for classic, because there is so much he can achieve, he can give to classic physique division. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.